So let's get started, everybody. And we are going to begin our analysis right now with the Dow. Okay, we have it up here. So we're going to start with the Dow. So as you can see, we're having such a substantial bounce because if you can see, we're already 350 points to the upside into the Dow. So that is actually really, really good. So we have a complete rotation onto the daily, second bounce off of the 200 SMA. This market does not want to sell off. This market is so resilient and it wants to just break higher. Now, there is a line in the sand here. We have the 10 EMA, and oftentimes when we're expecting this short squeeze to come from a moving average, from typically a support zone, that moving average is the first barrier, and that is the 10 exponential moving average. So we may have room to move higher into this 560 area. Now, if throughout the day we are going to maintain the bullish bias, and if at the end of the day we close strong and we tap a little bit into this 10 EMA and we close above it, then we could see some more acceleration to the upside into the 48,000. So just want to let everybody know, I see a lot of questions in the trading room in here that are we still trading the March contract? And the answer is no, we're not trading the March contract. We will be trading this June contract right now. This is where the volume has shifted into. As you can see, the overnight trading session, in the overnight trading session, we had a pop-up, a base that lasted for about 8 hours. And then we had the beautiful breakout right here that shifted higher. We still have a little bit of resistance into the 400. And then we have this declining 50 SMA along with the support from last week, actually from last Tuesday, that is going to represent that layer of extra resistance into this point. So this is going to be, again, could potentially be a rejection point or a digestion point. It's going to be a digestion point if the price action is going to consolidate into that level, and it could be a rejection point if we're going to get a turn around from that point. Now, keep it in mind, as with any option expiration, we are going to experience, as always, that big up move, that big down move, and that sideways action, and not in that particular order. The market decides the order. So as I was saying, like, this is the 4-hour chart. And then if we shift to the 1-hour chart, let's just go. My mouse is so sensitive here. Okay, so as you can see, still room for that beautiful 400. And we also have that 200 SMA right here. So we have a bunch of resistance areas, overhead resistance areas that we need to be mindful of, because those resistance areas will represent our targets. And now let's shift to the mini S&P. The mini S&P bouncing off of the 200 SMA. I don't need to tell you guys, yes, this is support right here into the pivot. And we have a really nice base that has developed in the overnight trading session, rotation, breakout over the overnight high and the high that we had on Friday. And we are accelerating into the 200 SMA. Now, remember that as with any option expiration, the prices will have the tendency to get pinned in or at around these whole numbers, or the fulcrum numbers into the 50s or so. And we haven't discussed about the weekly charts, but the weekly charts are a little bit into resistance. They're bouncing off the support. We still don't have a confirmation of a double bottom formation, but we have a substantial area of support here into the 62, 60 to 60, 65, 60 to 65, 60 area, 50 to 60. And if the price action throughout this week is going to trade over 80, we're going to see an acceleration higher. Now, remember, wars are not bearish for the stock market or for the futures market. So for today, we are expecting targets into a confluence area derived from the prior high over here and the 200 SMA that you guys can see it. And the thing is that we're very close to the 10 EMA, but if the structure maintains its strength, then we could see a potential blast off. But remember, we still have tons of resistance into this area where that 10 EMA is at, right? So this is into the 67, into the 67, 60 area. So for, immediate price action, remember that we have already accelerated higher for 3.5 hours, and we're also trading into resistance. So a little bit of patience here to see if the price action is going to digest these current levels, or if it's, kind of like going to still go full throttle higher. So these are the levels for the mini S&P. As far as NASDAQ goes, NASDAQ accelerating higher. Take a look at the daily. Already took out the 10 EMA and the 21 SMA. It has been one of the strongest. It was the laggard since October, but for the last couple of weeks, we saw a lot of resilience into NASDAQ holding, and we had a group of stocks that were holding pretty well. So I'm looking still at the structure of NVIDIA, Micron. There are some semiconductors and some other sectors that have been holding really well within this period of time. So we may see a rotation back into the tech stocks very soon, as soon as today. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, we have resistance points. We have the first resistance layer into the 960, and we have a very big level of support into the 645. We have another support level into the 680 area. And what I do like about it is that we already broke above Friday's high. So there is no doubt that NASDAQ is stronger, and it may be one of our favorites going on. Also, you can see that we're trading into the prior high here that we had on Thursday before the market opened. So we're trading again into resistance, but we still may have velocity for a continuation higher for today, all the way to 25,200. So that's going to be the line in the sand. Also, I want to draw attention to the weekly candle. It is the doji, so it's going to be bullish above and bearish below. But bullish above is going to be, again, be patient with it, because we need to see a close this week above this 21 SMA. Because look at this cluster right here throughout last week. We have been holding very steadily below the 21 SMAs. Okay, so, but also the price action is sandwiched, and you guys know it's getting from bullish bias, from the shape of the candle, from the style of the candle, from the fact that it is neutral, and also from the rising 50 SMA. And also, if we get the price over this week's high, we may start attempting a new high, right? Or at least to go into these prior highs. 26,000 is going to be the line in the sand for this week. So let's hope that's going to happen, because if that's going to happen, we're going to have follow through. And as traders, what we want is follow through, right? Because that is what's pushing the price into targets. If we don't have follow through, we're just going to have a bunch of, asymmetric trades where the risk to reward ratio is not really going to be that great. But if we have a really good win ratio, then we can take those trades. Okay, so let's take a quick look at RTY here. RTY also blasting above the levels from Friday, blasting above the levels from Thursday. Full daily rotation. We have the 200 SMA. We already can talk about a higher low formation from the prior low that we had here. And that was first or second week of March, and the first week of March. And then we have the overhead 10 EMA. We also have a pivot point here. Now, keep in mind that today's the first day when everybody's going to start trading this contract. So we still have volume into the March contract. So as the volume is going to drip in, remember that the overall daily volume is going to get split into the two contracts, into the March contract and into the June contract. So you were not going to experiencing like a whole bunch of volume into one contract. And on quad expiration day, everybody's going to be shifting to this June contract. All right, so let's take a quick look at Goldilocks. Gold, kind of like meandering. We talked about it last week. Came in to the 5,000 level. It is just a bunch of noise over here. So I don't see any kind of setups. It was holding really well over here. And I said, I am not going to get into a setup here. And I think this is going to be a catalyst as well. This is going to be a mover into the FOMC. Now, let's talk about the elephant into the room, and that is oil. Oil coming in. All right. So as you can see here, oil coming in and extremely volatile, but it's still holding into the support level here from the 1 hour into the 92. And if we start breaking the 92 level, and I would say 90, more like 91.50 than 92, but 92, of course, is, a pretty good level. We may start coming in. Okay. And we may start, having that pull back a little bit more substantial. All right, and let's talk about the elephant in the room, MBT. Very happy to see this. All right, super happy to see this because guess what? We are in a swing in MBT, okay? And all we have done so far is roll it. And I have to say, I have added a few times into this trade because I originally just entered with half the size. So I just added. Why did I add? Because of the structure that we have on the weekly. We have a strong 200 SMA here. We had a strong rotation. Now's the line in the sand because as you can see here, we are trading. Here we go. Okay. As you can see here, we are trading. I don't know why I lost my cursor. I don't know if you guys can see the cursor or not, but we are trading into an area of resistance, right? So we have these prior lows right here. If you draw a horizontal line, you're going to see that strong resistance. So this is support, this is minor resistance. So this is going to be the happening place. If the price action is going to reject this area, it's going to go back down. But if it's going to close stronger and stronger and stronger, then we may see a potential move to the upside. So this is actually really cool. All right, this is the pre-market game plan for today, for Monday, March 16th, 2026. It's 9:40, and we're ready to begin our power hour.